Hello, and the warmest of welcomes to all of you amazing people joining me from across the globe. It is an absolute pleasure to have you here today. Before we jump into our wonderfully quirky topic, I want to take a genuine moment to send out my very best wishes to you and your family. In the middle of our busy lives, your health and happiness are what truly matter most. So, from the bottom of my heart, I truly hope this message finds you feeling fantastic, full of energy, and in the best of health. May your days be filled with positivity and wellness. Now, let's all take a nice, deep breath in and let it out slowly, and get ready to have a little fun with a fascinating fact about your own body. So, let's talk about humming. It's something we all do almost without thinking. You might hum along to a song on the radio while you're driving, or hum a little tune while you're cooking dinner, or maybe even hum to yourself to fill a quiet room with a comforting sound. It's a simple, joyful act. But here's a little challenge for you right now, wherever you are. Try to hum. Just a simple, steady hum. Notice how it feels, the vibration in your chest and throat. Now, while you're still humming, gently pinch your nose closed. Go on, try it. What happened? If you're like pretty much every other person on the planet, the moment you pinched your nose, the humming stopped dead. It might have turned into a weird, strained, nasal grunt, or it might have just cut out completely. It's a strange sensation, right? You were just producing this sound effortlessly, and then you block your nose, and it's like someone flipped a switch and turned off the noise. This isn't just a party trick. It's a brilliant little window into the incredible and complex machinery of your own body, specifically, the intricate system you use to create sound and speech. The reason you can't hum with your nose closed is a perfect story of physics, anatomy, and acoustics all working together in perfect harmony every time you open your mouth to make a sound. To really understand this, we need to take a quick tour of the vocal workshop inside your body. Making any kind of vocal sound, whether it's speaking, singing, or humming, starts with your lungs. You take a breath in, filling your lungs with air. When you want to make a sound, you slowly let that air out, pushing it up through your windpipe, which is officially called the trachea. Sitting at the top of your trachea is your voice box or your larynx. Inside the larynx are your vocal cords, which are two flexible bands of muscle tissue. When you decide to make a sound, your brain sends a signal to these muscles to tighten up and come close together. As the air from your lungs is pushed up through them, it causes them to vibrate, much like the reed on a clarinet or a saxophone vibrates when you blow into it. This vibration is the raw, basic sound of your voice. But this raw sound isn't the beautiful humming or the clear speaking voice that you hear. This initial sound is actually pretty weak and bland. It needs to be shaped and amplified. This is where your vocal tract comes in. The vocal tract is the empty space inside you that the sound travels through after it leaves the larynx. It includes your throat, your mouth, and crucially, your nasal passages. Think of this vocal tract as a sophisticated resonance chamber. It takes that basic buzz from your vocal cords and transforms it, enriching it with tone and color and volume, turning it into your unique voice. Now, let's get to the star of our show, humming. Humming is a very specific type of vocalization. When you hum, you are making a sustained musical sound, but you are doing it with your mouth closed. Your lips are shut, and your jaw is usually relaxed. This is the critical detail. Because your mouth is closed, the only exit route for the sound and the air vibrating inside you is through your nose. The sound waves and the air itself travel up into the back of your throat and then make a sharp turn upward into your nasal cavity. The nasal cavity is a large, hollow space behind your nose, filled with all sorts of interesting structures called turbinates, which are bony shelves covered in tissue that warm and humidify the air you breathe. For sound, this cavity acts as a perfect resonance chamber. It amplifies the sound vibrations, giving the hum its characteristic warm, buzzing, and musical quality. The air you are exhaling has to flow out through your nostrils. It has no other choice because your mouth is providing an airtight seal. The sound follows the air. So, when you hum, you are essentially turning your nasal passages into a built-in musical instrument. This brings us to the grand experiment, pinching your nose. When you gently squeeze your nostrils shut, you are effectively slamming the door shut on the only exit. You are blocking the pathway. The sound and the air have nowhere to go. The air pressure starts to build up in your vocal tract because the air is still being steadily pushed up from your lungs, but it's meeting a closed door at your nose and a closed door at your mouth. This buildup of pressure does a couple of things almost instantly. First, it puts a strain on your vocal cords. It becomes much harder for them to keep vibrating freely against this sudden wall of back pressure. They might stop vibrating altogether, which would stop the sound immediately. Or they might struggle to vibrate, producing that strained, choked-off grunting sound instead of a clear tone. Secondly, and just as importantly, you are completely cutting off the resonance chamber. The nasal cavity is no longer part of the system. By closing off the nostrils, you are acoustically isolating the nasal cavity. The sound can no longer travel up into that space to be amplified and enriched. You are robbing your voice of its amplifier. So, even if your vocal cords are still managing to vibrate a little, the sound has nowhere to go and no way to be shaped into a proper hum. It's like a singer trying to perform inside a soundproof box. The sound might be happening, but it can't get out to be heard. This whole process highlights a very important anatomical feature, the velum. The velum, or the soft palate, is that soft, flexible part at the very back of the roof of your mouth. You can feel it with your tongue if you curl your tongue back. It's the part that moves when you say, "Off for the doctor." The velum acts like a traffic cop for sound and air. For most sounds in the English language, like all the vowel sounds and consonants like B, P, and D, the velum raises up to press against the back of the throat. This seals off the nasal passage, ensuring that all the air and sound comes out through your mouth. This is why you don't sound nasally when you say apple or boat. However, for certain sounds, the velum must lower itself to open up the pathway to the nose. These are called, quite logically, nasal sounds. The sounds for the letters M, N, and the ing sound in sing are nasal consonants. Try it. Say mom. Notice how when you make the M sound, your lips are closed, and the sound comes out through your nose. The velum is lowered to allow that to happen. Humming is essentially sustaining one of these nasal sounds, usually the M or N sound, on a musical pitch. So, when you hum, your velum is in the lowered position, creating an open highway between your throat and your nose. When you pinch your nose, you are putting a roadblock on that highway. This simple fact connects to so many everyday experiences. Think about when you have a really bad head cold. Your nose is all stuffed up and congested. Your sinuses are blocked. What happens to your voice? You sound stuffy and nasal, right? But also, try humming when you're that congested. It's much harder, if not impossible, and it certainly doesn't sound the same. That's because the congestion is physically blocking those nasal passages, doing the same job as your pinched fingers, preventing the sound from resonating properly. Your vocal tract is all out of balance. Or think about why people pinch their nose when they jump into a swimming pool. They are closing off the nasal pathway to prevent water from being forced up into their nose, which is a very uncomfortable feeling. In that case, they are consciously doing what your body forces you to do when you try to hum with a closed nose. They are shutting down the airway. This little experiment is more than just a fun trick. It's a demonstration of the beautiful precision of human biology. Every time you speak or sing, your brain is performing an incredible symphony of minute muscular contractions. It's controlling your diaphragm to manage airflow, adjusting the tension on your vocal cords to change pitch, and constantly moving your velum, tongue, lips, and jaw at lightning speed to shape that airflow into recognizable words and sounds. It's so automatic that we never think about it. But by trying to hum with your nose closed, you are introducing a deliberate error into the system. You are breaking the chain, and in doing so, you get to witness a failure mode that reveals how the entire process works. It shows us that something as simple and joyful as humming is actually a complex physical act that requires a specific and open pathway for air and sound to travel. It's a wonderful reminder that our bodies are these amazing, intricate machines capable of both powerful opera and the quiet, comforting hum of a simple tune, all governed by the elegant rules of physics and anatomy. So the next time you find yourself humming absent-mindedly, you can appreciate the incredible journey that sound is taking, from your lungs, past your vibrating vocal cords, and out through your nose, creating a tiny, personal concert that relies on one simple rule: the door to the nose must always be open.